Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc., the channel all about bringing you as much nerdy content as possible. Today for you, we're back in Dragon Village M, and I'm doing something a little different that I haven't done before, but I'm going to show you guys live, actual clearing the Tower of Tests. I'm on floor, as you can see, 105 on a lot of these, and I'm just going to play through them raw and let you guys just kind of see my strategy and how I go about clearing these floors. Alright? Let's get into this. As always, if you're new to the channel, please like the video and subscribe. If you like Dragon Village M content, then this is the channel for you. I cover as much of this game as I possibly can, videos every single week. So if you need any kind of tips or tricks or guides, this is the channel for you. Alright, so definitely subscribe. We're getting close to that 1,000 mark, and any help is greatly appreciated for that. Alright, but enough of that. Let's get in here and let's jump into this. I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to do just yet. So we're going to try at least the water and earth. And so let's look at my team here. So what's my general strategy, right? So I need a, my front line got to be a little bit tanky. So I've got Water Enix here as one of my only good healers that I have currently. Has a revive, has its heals give an invuln shield, so that's kind of nice, but it's only a 2 target count, so pretty terrible there. But it's served me well for a long time in this game, so I can't complain too much. Of course, Water Trophius, probably the best tank I have that I can apply right now. I've got Water Guyan over there. But, or is that Chaos? I get those two mixed up. They came out at the same time. But both work as pretty great defenses. I'm really liking the Volts for stuff like this, content like this, because they clear so many ads really fast. So just his passive alone is great to have. Not necessarily his drag skill. I've got the Water Catscon here, actually, surprisingly. Actually a pretty good leader compared to a lot of other stuff I have. And I don't have a whole lot of mana regen on this team, so I really got to keep down how much mana consumption I use. And so with only a single target attack, but also only costing a single mana to use, I really like the Water Catscon for a situation like this. And then got good old Water Jet Dragon, just a beastly DPS, does a lot of damage, great passive also, just like the Volt, for just clearing creatures out super fast. So this is kind of my water team. It's got a lot of room for change and adaptability, especially with my roster over here. So it's just kind of what kind of falls into place when it does. Whenever I get the chance to use the Mummigon, I definitely will throw in Mummigon, but only when I get that element advantage, because if I don't have that advantage, it's not worth it. So we're going to jump in here. We're going to give this a shot. I can't remember if I've tried this. If I have, it's been a while. So we'll see how this goes. Make sure we turn auto battle off. Don't want to be wasting our mana. So my general strategy here is I just let this auto battle as much as possible. I'll pop a heal when needed, but what I'm hoping for is I'm building up my mana, right? Because my goal is to go into stage 3 fighting the boss with all my cooldowns off, as well as much health and as much mana as I possibly can get to max. So we just let these guys do their thing. This is a pretty good run so far. I believe recently there was an update where they increased the cap of the Tower of Test, and every time they increase the cap of the Tower of Test, they actually lower the difficulty a little bit. So this used to be a lot harder, so now it's a little bit easier. So I definitely just need to get caught up at this point, back to where the content was hard. So we'll just clear all these guys out so we're not taking a whole lot of damage. Definitely not too bad. I actually am going to go ahead and drop this Volt. Yeah, hardly did anything, but the passive is what's really nice. But we're going to clear this stage, no problem. 105, just in the history books, just got that out of the way. That's one boss down. And I'm doing the every 5 increments for you guys, just because those are kind of the bigger rewards, and usually they're tougher fights than other zones. So we've got some nice crystals there. So we're going to jump back over here. And yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right over in here into Earth, and we can take a look at what I'm running on Earth. Also, for most of the dungeons or most of the towers, I run the hedge bat. Hedge bat is super great. It's nice AOE, so it's not too bad for clearing out ads, as well as it's great for clearing out bosses, because it does so much damage to bosses. So, especially on those, I think it's on the every 10 floors, we have to fight like 4 bosses at once, 4 or 5 bosses at once, and that can be pretty gnarly. So he is great for just destroying bosses on content like that. Alright, so looking at the rest of our team here, though, got our healer. You know, you gotta have some sort of healer. I like to have some sort of nice DPS leader, so I'm running my Kamui here, who's just my raw damage. If I need to drop an attack skill, then Kamui's the one, because he's just gonna be able to incinerate the entire enemy force, at least 5 of them at once. Again, running another Volt just for that passive alone, just clearing out the ads in the first 2 stages really fast, and that's what he's here for. This is kind of my flex spot on support. I'm running Frosty here just because Frosty gives a nice buff, an attack buff, damage buff more specifically, to these guys in the back here, as well as has some mana regen for us, because since I'm running a 3 mana cost attacker, I need a little bit more mana regen on this team. So that's why I'm running the Frosty here. I did think about dropping Frosty for the Earth Cupid. The problem is I don't really pop any of these other skills that much. Hedgebat is usually right towards the end. Sometimes I'll use it in the first 2 stages, but not always. That's what Volt's for. And then the heal skill, and that's it. Kamui's my main attacker here, so I could even drop that and add in Ilon, which actually I think is what I will do. I'll add the Ilon instead, for that crit rate buff. I think is a little bit more important for these DPS. So let's give that a shot. Let's jump in here and we're gonna see what happens. Also, just general game knowledge here. I do like to use the X formation because it gives that attack buff for all my team. And so yeah, again, we're just gonna let this kind of go on auto battle here. One thing I do recommend, if you go into a stage and you see healers in the back, I'll point them out if any show up here. Nope, none here. But they have like the big old hats, and then they have a wand in their hand. And anytime I see anything like that, I always make sure to take them out. I'm gonna pop a heal, get us up, get this cooldown going. Look, already back up to full mana. Alright, so I'm fighting the same boss here. So same strategy as before. I'm gonna drop that big attack skill. Look at that, crazy. Oh man. Love to see it. And cleared that stage. 105, again, done and over with. I guess the reduction that just happened not too long ago is helping out tremendously, because last time I attempted this, I don't remember it going so well. So, alright, and we're just going to keep on moving along. I'm going to go ahead and get these last stages done as well. Alright, so my light team, completely different pretty much. Very, very odd compared to the rest of what I'm running. Alright, so up front we've got Light Pharaoh. Light Pharaoh is kind of like a Frosty, gives a nice little like damage, attack buff, as well as a little bit of mana regen, that sort of thing. We're running Light Alien, whenever I use its drag skill, it reduces the timer of all my cooldowns of all my 2 mana cost dragons. So 4 out of 5 dragons are all going to get their cooldowns reduced every time he launches his skill. As well as when he uses his own, he has a chance to get 1 mana back. And on top of that, yeah, we're still not done. He has a passive that every so often he reduces the cost of all 2 mana cost skills. He can reduce them by 1, make them all 1 mana cost for it's like 8 seconds or something like that. So I just save up all my mana, wait for that to go, and then I pop all my skills that get reduced down to 1, and it's just so great. And so we got the mini dragon here. I have a light Volt that I was working on and powering up, who seems to have made it into the fodder category, sadly. So instead we're running the mini dragon for clearing the ads. Just because with this team comp, I'm not too worried about that because I get the mana back so fast. It's only one. It only costs me 1 mana, and they're just bringing back the mana regen so fast. And then my leader over here is the Light Clown, as well as just a great single target attacker. I wish I had a better big AOE attacker, but I just don't have any that are like really geared up and powered up. I could run the this actually probably would be a good time to run the Spiral, because we're fighting that Dark Mummigon, so we would actually do a whole lot of damage to that one. But I think I'm going to pass, and I want to stick with the Light Clown just because the leadership, as well as he's got a pretty good passive that's kind of good for clearing out ads. And then my healer there is Light Venezi, who is just a good, solid healer. I use it on my PvP team. Heals for crazy amounts of health, as well as has a revive ability. And every when he heals, he gives a health steal buff too, which you don't see very often. We're going to drop this AoE down here. We got those healers in the back. Oh, it's not a wand, it's a spell book. Sorry, that's what it is. So you see those, ever see any kind of healer, you want to get rid of those guys as soon as possible. Even if you have to pop skills that you don't want to otherwise normally drop, it's probably just a general good idea. Let's go ahead and drop that alien, which will instantly make our mini dragon live again, so we can immediately pop that. Looks like we might need to pop another heal here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and pop my Kathos, who's going to give them all this attack buff. And then we're going to try to push this Mummigon out. We didn't quite get it, but we need to get it super far down. Let's drop that. And then drop that. Oh wow, that didn't clear it. Okay, close enough though. So a little hairy there, but we were able to push through without too much issue. I didn't have to really maximize on my plays too much. So let's go ahead. We're going to push into this very last one here, the dark one, and then we'll probably wrap it up after that. So let's take a look at this team. Kind of 2 healers is a bit nonsense, but the reason I'm doing that is because I don't have a tank that I can throw in this slot. I do have the Power Dragon, however recently I did steal all my skill ups off of my Power Dragon, so he is quite weak currently. Powering up the Dark Volt, he's still got a little ways to go. He has no mastery, no enhancements, so he's got some learning to do. Until then, I'm just running this backup. It's the Dark Wonder Dragon. I don't plan on him dying or going into zombie state, anything like that, but just in case, I have had instances where the whole team has died, and he's the last one, gets thrown into zombie state, and then he's able to barely clear it, but it's not a strategy I like to rely on. Again, we're running another hedge bat. I'll explain why I love the hedge bats. I've talked to other even way more high tier players than even I am, and so many of them all run every element of hedge bat in every single run that they do, just because they're that amazing. They're great for clearing out ads in the first 2 stages, and they're great for clearing out bosses in the final stage. So all around, I would recommend running a hedge bat in every single run you do, for every element you do. And then again, similar to the Kamui, we're running a 3 mana cost attacker here. Dark Arcana is just a beast. He just annihilates everything he looks at. So very expensive mana use, but I like the payoff. And again, similar, we don't have any kind of mana regen on this team, so we have to be very cognizant of how much mana we're spending on our attacks. So we try not to waste anything. We rely on the passive heals of the 2 healers here to keep the team going without actually having to use their heals to waste mana. Alright, let's get into this. I would like to have some sort of mana regen for Dark, but they're just a little harder to come by. They're so much more rare. Alright, we got those healers there in the back, so I'm going to go ahead and pull out my hedge bat here. Let's see if we can get these guys. It's kind of hard to line up this X formation. There we go. Didn't quite get them both, but I think we've worked them down enough that they're not going to be able to keep up now. Yeah, walked right through them. And so our cooldowns are almost back. We're trying to get our mana regen all the way back up before we go into that final stage. We may have to drop a heal. That Dark Venezia over there is going down pretty rapidly. Go ahead and pop that heal. Bring them almost all the way back up. I really don't want to spend a second heal, but it's starting to work its way down. Alright, looks like we got this. Alright, I'm going to pop that one again. And we're back up to full health, almost full mana, so we should be able to push into this and clear it out pretty easily. Pop Kathos, get that nice attack buff. Drop that Dark Arcana, who's going to melt those front row guys, and then we're going to drop the Hedgebat, who's also going to hit really hard. And then auto attacks just for days over here, and should just walk right through this. Look at that. It did nothing. Look at all those buffs. So yeah, that's stage 105. Walked through it pretty easily. I'm gonna spend the next week or so, and we're gonna push up to 110, and then I'll do another set of 110 recordings to see how that goes. It'll be a little bit harder, so it might take a little bit more effort. And I'm just gonna kind of make this a progression series. We're just gonna keep pushing forward and working higher and higher into this Tower of Test. This gives me the momentum to actually do these, because as you can see, I'm only in the low 100s. I've been playing this game for several years now, so finally gives me the motivation to do this. So I hope you guys like this series. If you want to see more in-depth guides like this, where I'm clearing out very specific parts of the game, let me know, and I can do a more comprehensive guide on Tower of Test in general. Okay. Thanks guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.